All right, what's going on, everybody? Big Slam back with another video talking about our 7-1 Dallas Cowboys. I'm sorry for this video being up so late. Just couldn't record over the weekend. Had a rough weekend. I'm actually recording this Sunday morning, just hours before the game. But before we talk about the Steeler matchup, I'm going to talk about a couple other things. I want to talk about Randy Gregory, and I want to talk about Des Bryant in the media, the mainstream media, not the Cowboys beat writers who are around the team all the time. Let's talk about Randy Gregory first. Randy Gregory, if you haven't heard, failed another drug test, and the third drug test that you fail in the NFL is a year-long suspension. So even if the Cowboys keep this guy, who was a second-round pick a couple years ago, he wouldn't be able to play till the end of 2017, and I honestly don't see the Cowboys keeping him. I do hope they get this kid some help, because it sounds like he's got a serious drug problem, whether it be, I've read different things. I know he's failed marijuana tests, which I'm not, I don't think weed is that big of an issue, to be honest with you. I mean, more states just legalized it after this vote on Tuesday. So, I mean, the rest of the country is coming around to that idea as well. But there was, I've read things about opiates and things along those lines, which is very serious and very hard to get off of once you start doing stuff like that. So hopefully they get this kid help just so he can make it through life and live to see 30 years old. He's a young kid, man. So hopefully he gets some help and can clean his life up, even if he doesn't play football again. I mean, it's that serious. It really is that serious. So hopefully Randy Gregory can get it together and have a nice life after football. And who knows, maybe in a couple years he's clean and healthy and can come back and somebody give him a chance to play football. Who knows? But now let's talk about Des Bryant. Now, I see the mainstream media trying to drive this wedge between Des and the Cowboys with his attitude, and they're trying very hard to get you and I to believe that Des Bryant is so pissed off because he's not a part of the game plan or catching a lot of footballs. And you know what's funny is, after last week's one catch performance, after the game in the locker room, they were showing the victory speech with Jason Witten, and Des is smiling and nodding his head. So I don't know where this mainstream media comes from, talking about how mad Des is and how it's just a matter of time before he boils over. I really hope it doesn't happen. I want to see him be a big part of this game plan and catch a lot of footballs. But look, if they're going to double Des all day, you'll take the Cole Beasley stuff. You'll take the Jason Witten stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I think Des realizes that, and when you're 7-1, how could you be mad? You're going to be a part of a winning team. I mean, let's face it, they're not going to be losers this year. They're 7-1. They only need to win one more game to be 500 for the rest of the year, and I don't see them going 1-7 on the back end of this season. So he's going to be on a winning team. From the looks of it, even if the Cowboys go 4-4, they'll be in the playoffs. All right, the next 8 games, he's going to be on a winning team. What does he have to be pissed about? Yeah, he hasn't gotten the balls, he hasn't gotten the touchdowns and things like that. But I think those things will come sooner rather than later. Honestly, I think it's time for Des to start blowing up a little bit. I think it's time for this coaching staff to start using him in motion, do certain things to get him open, get him away from the double teams, because teams just take him away. But then you beat him on the other end with Cole Beasley, like we talked before, and just our running game in general. We're more of a running team. We're not going to throw the ball a whole ton, especially if we don't have to. Why would we throw the football? So, but hopefully Des can start coming around here, because you could see there's some frustration, but he can't say anything because they're winning. And I don't think he wants to say anything because they are winning. They're 7-1. Like I said, in the locker room, he's smiling, nodding, being happy with everybody. It's a fun season, man. He just wants to be a part of this team. I think he will soon, too. All right, now let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Guys, I honestly think I had a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach all week about this game. The Steelers need a win desperately. They're 500 right now, and they have been very inconsistent. I remember, what was it, week 2 or whatever, where they absolutely blasted the Kansas City Chiefs. Blasted them bad. Ben had like 5 touchdowns or something ridiculous like that. I had him on one of my fantasy teams, so that helped me out that week. But I don't care. I don't want Ben to do anything today. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't care if he goes no touchdowns and like 120 yards. my team over my fantasy team every single time, all right? But, all right, like I was saying before, I had a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach pretty much all week when I was thinking about this football game. And the more the week went on, it started to be less and less of a problem for me. But the biggest reason is obviously the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. I mean, Brown, Bell, and Big Ben. I mean, Big Ben is such a pain to deal with in the pocket. I mean, he extends plays. He's hard to bring down even if you get home. Even if these defensive linemen get home for a sack, he's big, he's strong, he's next to impossible to bring down. I mean, these are the things that I was thinking about during this week. But then, I started to break away from that and realize what our process is and how we deal with teams like this, with offenses like this. You run the ball all day long against this team. Run the ball all day long with this offensive line. It will pay off in the second half. I expect this game to be real close in the first half, 17-13, something along those lines. I think there'll be a decent amount of scoring in this game for sure. But you just run the ball. You keep pounding them. You don't have Dak throw the ball more than 30 times this game. You run the ball with Zeke about 25 times. Alfred Morris should get a couple carries in there as well. And that's the recipe for success for this team all year long. Let's not get away from that. So my prediction right here is 30-23. Dallas wins the football game. And my crazy prediction is Sean Lee with 2 interceptions. 1 gets returned for a touchdown. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll probably see you on Monday for the review of this game. All right, guys, hopefully we get a W today. See you on the next one. Peace.